generation of Fight Camp revolutionized the at-home boxing game by allowing you to track your punches and your output in real time and see your long-term progress. And after years of learning, research, and feedback, we went back to the drawing board to bring you, drum roll please, the new Fight Camp Experience console. With this upgraded experience, you can now access the next level of Fight Camp. Starting with partner workouts. No need for just one person. You can now have another person work out with you. And our console does hold up to 4 trackers. An updated round-by-round scoring and punch goals, plus celebrations of new achievements to keep you motivated. A new look and feel on your live screen. You also will have simplified streaming, an easy step-by-step setup for a seamless experience. The console itself is also a charging dock, so you never have to worry about losing your trackers or them dying. As soon as you're done, stick them on it and you're good to go. Connect directly through an Ethernet cable if needed. And it's optimized for multiple accounts. In summary, if you like the first generation of Fight Camp, then you are going to love the new Fight Camp experience. So if you want more information, make sure you go to joinfightcamp.com to upgrade your experience today. This is Fight Camp, an interactive training camp from the comfort of your own home. Tutorials and guided paths walk you step by step through the basics and sharpen your technique over time. Punch tracking technology and leaderboards provide you built-in motivation to help you hit your goals. Learn more at fightcamp.com.
The brain to perfect the body.
Shaolin shadow boxing and the Wu-Tang sword style. If what you say is true, the Shaolin and the Wu-Tang could be dangerous. Do you think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
On guard. I'll let you try my Wu-Tang style.
Same with you. Same with you.
He has opened doors for others. He fights the fight for us.
My number one constituents can't vote for me because they're students, they're in the classroom. So my fight is taking it to the State House and making sure all the dollars that we contribute to our tax base is coming back to the city of Brockton. When people talk about Brockton, they're not thinking negative, they're thinking positive. Once you invest into your youth, you're gonna have a rich community.
Hi, my name is Karen. I'm a mother just like you, and my son rides a motorcycle. So please check twice, save a life. Motorcycles are everywhere.
For more information on sharing the road, visit mass.gov/RMV.
Do you feel lucky? Punk, I know you're wondering. Is this the booth, drafting the circuits, or Steve's video store? What is it? I sure know what it is. It's whobazoo.com.
The movie, music, news, television promos, trailers and videos used in this production are protected by the Fair Use Act. Section 107 of the Copyright Act. 1. The purpose and character of the use, including whether such use is of commercial nature or is for nonprofit educational purposes. 2. The nature of the copyrighted work. 3. The amount and substantiality of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole. 4. The effect of the use upon the potential market for, or value of, the copyrighted work.
So, you've been telling everybody I'm sleeping with you, huh?
No.
Well, that explains it. That's why these people treat me like some dime store floozy.
No,
they think I'm screwing the boss.
That's not it at all.
Oh, and you just love it, don't you? It gives you some sort of cheap thrill, like knocking over pencils and picking up papers.
Now, don't get excited.
Get your scummy hands off of me. Look, I've been straight with you from the first day I got here, and I put up with all your pinching and staring and chasing me around the desk because I need this job, but this is the last straw.
All right, now wait. Let's just sit down and...
Look, I got a gun out there in my purse, and up to now I've been forgiving and forgetting because of the way I was brought up, but I'll tell you one thing. If you ever say another word about me or make another indecent proposal, I'm going to get that gun of mine, and I'm going to change you from a rooster to a hen with one shot. Don't think I can't do it.
Hey everyone, my name is Brian Seaver, son of Cassie Parton, and I'm representing the Parton and Owens family today, announcing the passing of my Aunt Dolly Rebecca Parton Dean, sister, sis, Aunt Granny to one generation and Gigi to the next. This video announcement is something Dolly asked of me years ago, before I fully absorbed it as a future reality. As her head of security for more than 2 decades, a role my father Larry held before me, I have imagined the heaviness of this moment, but haven't truly felt it until now. It is an honor that is mixed with absolute pride and great sadness. But sadness lies with us, not with Dolly. Dolly has lived in the light, and is in the arms of Jesus, surely met by Carl, her parents, and countless others who have watched her and longed for her to meet them in the heavens. I first went on the road with Dolly as a kid, getting a taste of the road life in the early 1980s. Dolly opened doors not just for me, but for her entire family to reach the potential we didn't even know was possible. Dolly also opened doors for generations of singers, songwriters, musicians, and dreamers from every walk of life and across every continent. By her example, we believed that anything was possible. She never saw a door she couldn't open, and the doors she opened made and changed history. My family and I have shared a lifetime of beautiful memories with Dolly, but so have you. She has always been on your television, your record player, your CD, and on your phone playlist, becoming an extended part of your family whether you liked it or not. Our family and the team she has entrusted with her legacy will work diligently to ensure her spirit will live with us forever. Dolly was a farmer, just like her daddy. He farmed the soil, she farmed songs and happiness. Dolly called me and said she wants to rest in a beautiful bed of plush cotton because after a life wearing heavy rhinestones, she finally deserves to be comfortable and have some rest. Rest in peace, Aunt Dolly, Aunt Granny, Gigi. May God bless Dolly Parton, and may God bless you all. She will always love you.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
This is blasphemy. This is madness. This is a move.
City of Champions, Brockton, Massachusetts, with your host, Keith Sinister One Hayes.
All right, it's your boy Sinister One broadcasting live from the City of Champions. You are watching The Booth. Is August 25th, 2026. And before we get into the show, I got to thank my supporters from last week and my guest Frank Nino, who came on the show. Force to Win Podcast was the name of his podcast. He came on here to promote his event that's taking place this weekend. Also want to thank everybody who checked in this week. The move with my dad is complete, so thank you everybody for that one. And let me get into my supporters and sponsors. Michael Douglas Bretto, MDB Electronics. If you need your controller, Xbox controller fixed, get it out to him. 24, 48 hours, you're back to gaming. Viana Marie, her music is everywhere. Personal. It's Personal was the last project she worked on. She's got a private event coming up on September 30th at the private location. Hit her up for details at vianamarie123@gmail.com. That's vianamarie123@gmail.com to get information on this private event for September 30th. Tactical target systems, those targets that you see me with at the range. Those big life-size zombie targets, reach out to tacticaltargetsystems.com. Also, I Love Boston Sports, black-owned business, Marlon Williams. Make sure to check him out in South Shore Plaza. I Love BostonSports.com. And then Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. If you ladies want to take some pictures that you never thought you would take, reach out to Kimberly Ann Empowerment Photography. Also, black-owned business, Underwatch Protective Services. Daryl Smith is the CEO. Reach out to him for any type of mobile patrol, for patrol, armed guards, unarmed guards, event security, or private security. Underwatch Protective Services. Hey, excuse me. Man, long day. In the news booth, this past weekend, the Brockton NAACP hosted the, I believe it was Friday night at BCA. Brockton State Rep Michelle DuBois debated against the challenger, Tony Rodrigues, on Friday night for their State 1 Democratic primary coming up for State Rep. Some of those sound bites that Enterprise was reporting is that Michelle DuBois called Tony Rodrigues a misogynist, and that he called her a failed leader. So it looks like it kind of got heated. I believe that is available to watch on YouTube, but to make sure you're ready to vote on September 1st in this primary, you want to make sure to get to know both candidates. Both candidates, and get to know them so you're ready to vote on September 1st. Also, today was August 25th. Today was the last day to send your ballots in, so you can online vote. Today was the last day. So if you're trying to get them in, the only way to get them in on time now is to go down and drop them off at City Hall so you can get your ballot. Some people have already gotten their ballots to mail in. I believe there is a story coming up in the legal booth in regards to that. Also, I think that's the only story in the news booth today. We're going to get right into the entertainment booth. And in the entertainment booth, rest in peace, Michael Wright, 70 years old. This guy, back when he hit the scene, was a great actor. He had a great look. And for one of the things he was most known for was in the movie The 5 Heartbeats, which was kind of based loosely on kind of like The Temptations. If you remember this scene right here, I'm going to show this scene right here, one of the most powerful scenes. It's funny. Let me just show the scene first, and then I'll tell you about my little personal story with 5 Heartbeats. Here we go.
Steps in me.
Nah, Jits. It's my music. It's my music.
Let's do it like we did in the tunnel.
Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house tonight? Stand up, stand up. Let me know that you understand. Is there a heart? Is there a heart in the house? You got to have love. You got to have love in your heart tonight.
Is a house for love, and I've learned that it don't take much to break a heart. Is a house for love, and I've learned. Build it up, build it up, build it up. Is a house for love, and I've learned. I've learned a heart is a house.
You got to feel it,
and I've
you got to feel it up, feel it up.
It don't take much to
Let me know you understand.
So that was Five Heartbeats, and you know that was one of those movies when you realized you were going into adulthood. These were, you know, when you're younger, you go see all these crazy movies, and then you see the trailer for this, and then you know your parents or somebody says they're going to take you to see this film, and you're like, oh man, I don't want to go see this movie, and you do it, and you go see it. Hold on, I dropped my pen. I'm back. I dropped my pen. And you go see it, and you love this movie. Like I went to see this movie with my dad, and man, I left there just singing all the songs, and it was craziness. And that's when you kind of realize you're making that transition from being a kid to an adult, when you start liking movies such as this. But Michael Wright passed away, 70 years old. And then last week we had Hayden Panettiere, 36, and then today it dropped. Today it was, you know, the big one. Dolly Parton passed away, 80 years old. Dolly Parton is a legend. A legend. And as you guys saw, she came on the scene, and she was this great singer. But not only was she this great singer, she packed a punch as an actress, as you saw in the clip from 9 to 5, when she took on this role between two heavyweight actresses. When you look at those three actresses in 9 to 5, and you're putting the casting together, and at that time you're going to do Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin, who are we going to cast in between them? And they go with Dolly Parton, who huge country music star, huge. But nobody ever had really seen Dolly act or do anything of that type on the big screen. So she gets cast in this role and she kills it in 9 to 5. Kills it in 9 to 5 as you see. Not only does she kill it, but she kind of stole the movie right from Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda. Stole that movie from them, which led to Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Burt Reynolds. That went into Rhinestone with Sylvester Stallone. Then she was in Steel Magnolias, and it just went on from there. She's responsible for the careers of many, many, many music stars, not just country stars, music stars. She was a big part of a lot of careers of people coming up. And one of the things she did that upset some people was the fact that she signed off on the Beyonce country album. She actually did a part on that album, and the people were like, whoa. And I, when I saw people talking about that and bashing that album, I'm like, yo, how do you bash that album when Dolly Parton's on there? Co-signing. She co-signed on Beyonce's country album. Dolly is responsible for opening doors for people who wouldn't even have doors. And Dolly was a huge supporter of the LGBTQ community. Huge supporter. She knew what that base meant to her and the money coming in. She knew. She wasn't one of these people who, accepted the money that came from that community, but then snubbed her nose at, no, she didn't. She didn't snub her nose at the LGBT. She embraced it. She stuck up with it. She talked about people in her family who were in that community. So she embraced it. She supported it. And that I gotta give kudos to President Trump when we get into Trump troubles. Gotta give kudos to President Trump in Trump troubles. But yeah, Dolly Parton, she passed away. As I said, she huge. And then I have a personal story of how I realized how important this woman is. So as you guys know, I go to Maggie Valley when I can, usually every year for the Slingshot convention down in Maggie Valley. I didn't go this year. Oh, excuse me. One of the rides that we do when we go to Maggie Valley is we go down to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg, Pigeon Forge. Now, if you guys don't know the story and the history behind Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, Google it, look it up. Pigeon Forge is this town that is on the outskirts of Dollywood. And Pigeon Forge years ago had this fire. I want to say it was like 2016, maybe. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it was in 2016. But Pigeon Forge was this town that burned, ruined people's livelihoods. And Dolly Parton came in and just put up millions of dollars, like I want to say $15 to $20 million she put up to rebuild this town. And I know when we were down there and we stopped, I think we stopped somewhere in Gatlinburg to eat. And I remember talking to a guy and, talking about Dolly, and the guy says, hey, he's like, man, we tell people that come through here to make sure they don't say nothing bad about Dolly Parton. This was while we were in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge. What's up, Felicia? And he was like, yeah, he's like, she's like God. Here, the guy was telling us. He said Dolly Parton is like God. You can't say nothing bad about Dolly Parton in Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge because she donated the money to put that town back on the map. And when you go to Gatlinburg, you go to Pigeon Forge, man, it is a beautiful place. Beautiful place. They've got all these different attractions. They have a place where it's the history of the Titanic, and it's a life-size replica of half or a section of the Titanic. We went and did that. Me, Ron, and Tara, we did that, and it was just a great time. They've got a Ripley's Believe It or Not building there. It's kind of like an upside down building. It's crazy. Then they've got this other building that's like the top of the Empire State Building with King Kong, and there's a ton of go-kart places. Oh my God, there's like a go-kart track on like almost every corner, because you're down there in NASCAR country, down there in race country, so you got all that stuff going on. But Dolly Parton was huge down there, huge, because she rebuilt that town after it burned, and then on the outskirts it's Dollywood. So I'm almost tempted to say next year when I go down to Maggie Valley and Pigeon Forge, I might have to step in and check out Dollywood now. I might have to. That might be part of it. The lines will probably be long next year. That's probably going to be a huge attraction next year. But again, rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Everybody today is feeling that one. All races and colors and creeds and everybody. Because Dolly Parton, even though she was this country singer, she touched everybody. She had just released an album last year where she did like duets, collabs. She did all these collabs with people that you would never think she would do collabs with, and that was on iTunes, and I think that was released last year, so it's out there. Go look it up. And I believe it was up there. It was up there in the charts for a minute. But again, rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Again, like I said, I showed that clip from 9 to 5, and she, like I said, she stole that movie. If you haven't seen 9 to 5, check it out. It's a classic. It's a classic. My mom's, rest in peace. My mom's was one of the biggest Dolly Parton fans out there. Oh my God. We watched 9 to 5 so many times on Starcase, and I just dated myself. I just dated the shit out of myself by mentioning Starcase, because some of you people that are watching this right now are probably like, what the heck? They're gonna be Googling Starcase. Starcase is so old it probably won't even come up in Google when you search it. And it's funny because back then it was like, like you have Xbox and PlayStation. Right now you have your Xbox people and you got your PlayStation people, you got your Marvel people, you got your DC people. Well, back in the day when cable was just coming around, you had your Starcase people, and then you had your preview people. I don't know if anybody remembers that. If you would drive around the neighborhoods, and if you could tell who had what, because Starcase, their antenna was like a V with a little thing. You used to know that person had Starcase. If you had preview, you had the weird looking antenna. So I'm super dating myself right now. Felicia said she and Loretta and Lynn gave me the fondest memories growing up. Yeah, like I said, my mom's was huge with Dolly Parton, and the other big movie that she liked about was a story about Loretta Lynn, Sissy Spacek, was Coal Miner's Daughter. Oh my God, if that movie was on, my mom's was watching that too, and it was just crazy. So again, rest in peace, Dolly Parton. Like we said, they go in threes. Hayden Panettiere was last week. Then we got Michael Wright, and then Dolly Parton. So there's our three. There's our three for this one. So, man. Also in the entertainment booth, Jessie Reyez has announced a Little Vengeance tour. She will be here on November 22nd. If anybody is setting up a GoFundMe for bail money, for Sinister One, you probably want to set that shit up right now. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, Jessie Reyez album is fire. Fellas, if you're hearing this song being played, your time is done. Also, in the entertainment booth, Gears of War E-Day, quickly, fast approaching. they just released the official story trailer. This is last week they had a drop. It was multiplayer drop, but this is the official story trailer. This is a trailer featuring part of the story. The graphics are crazy. Check this shit out.
Rated M for mature.
What the fuck are you?
Scorch the city! Seize the surface! Bleed the ground walkers!
Good to see a few more gears made it through the night. You four belong to me now. Designation, Bravo Squad. No one knows what these things are or where they're coming from.
This is more than an invasion. It's a fucking war. The reports are still coming in, but whatever this is, it's happening all over the city.
Actual monsters are coming out of the ground and ripping my people apart.
And those are my gears out there holding the line.
Fall back now!
How do we hold a line against an enemy that can tunnel under it?
Oh, shit!
We're gears. We fight.
We still have our people. If we can save them, we save Kelowna.
Loss prepares us for what's ahead.
People we love die. We're the ones that keep fighting.
Give him hell, Phoenix. That's the plan.
Come and get some, you goddamn grubs!
Eat lit, sucker!
There'll be no support. If you fall, we all do.
We do this together, or we die together, yeah? To the end.
October 6th is the release of that game. I will be there. Don't be looking for me. There's a lot of shit coming up that don't look for me. Don't even bother looking for me. I'm going to be gone. I'm going to be gone, man. October 6th. I've been doing the beta, so they've allowed us to do some beta stuff. And the game is crazy. The game is already crazy in the beta format. So I can't wait to see what's going on here. Also in the entertainment booth, Marvel Studios just dropped a brand new trailer for Avengers Endgame Encore. Avengers Endgame Encore, remastered, redone, and it is coming out September 25th, just months out from December 18th, Avengers Doomsday. And if there's any way to release a trailer to show that you're re-releasing Encore, the best way to show it is to show the best part of the movie to get people interested, because I think I'm going back to the theaters to experience those moments in a crowd, because like I said, I get it. I've got a big TV. I've got a big screen, huge TV in my house. But there are some things that you have to see with people. With people. There are some things that you just have to experience in a group of people when it comes to certain movies. For example, Weapons. If you saw the horror movie Weapons, I had a friend that was gonna wait till Weapons came out on streaming, and I was like Kevin Jeffries. I was like, bro, don't wait. Don't wait to go see this movie when it comes out on Peacock or whatever. Don't wait. You gotta go see it at the movie, because when it happens and you get that crowd response, you don't get that at home. There's some things you just don't get at home. And Avengers Endgame, there was a lot of scenes that you were like, oh my God, with a lot of people in the theater, but they take the best scene and let me just give it to you. Let me just give it to you. Here you go.
Hey, Cap, you read me? Cap, it's Sam. Can you hear me? On your left.
Avengers!
Assemble. We have a plan. 6 stones, 3 teams, 1 shot. You mess with time. Time tends to mess back. Tony, this is a second chance.
See that? And then they tease you. They tease you because they're going to give you an exclusive look at Avengers Doomsday if you go see this. Bro, stop it. Yo, Marvel's taking all my money. All my money, bro. And as I announced last week on this show, the new Phoenix Theater up there at Foxborough at Patriot Place, Phoenix Theater also has announced that they are doing 36 hours of Doomsday. So, in other words, if you're one of these people who don't like going when the young kids are there and talking through the movie and making all types of noise, you can go to like a midnight show. That's how we used to do. Me and my guys, me and my men, my boys, when we were together, we used to drive into Boston at midnight and see all these midnight showings, Bad Boys 2 and stuff like that. Me and my man Zach, we used to all go out, Alan, Jamal, we used to drive in the rodeo and go see these movies, midnight openings, and that was the best time you would go see a movie. I think I'm going to do that for Doomsday. I think I'm going to take it back, and I think I'm going to Phoenix Theaters at midnight to go see this movie, because I'm not missing out the night it opens. My phone's gonna be off, so because I don't want no spoilers. So my phone's gonna be off. So again, these next few months coming up is crucial time for you to stay in touch with Sinister One, because I'm not gonna be around for a lot. I'm not gonna be around for a lot of this stuff that's coming up. I'm just letting y'all know. You already just saw September 25th. Endgame Encore. That's a wrap. I'm done. You won't be seeing me. You won't be hearing from me. You won't be able to contact me because I'm going to be at the movie theater. December 18th, Doomsday. And if they do open up on the 17th, if they do the 17th midnight, which is the 18th, if they do that at Phoenix Theaters, I'm there. I'm just letting you know. If it's December 18th at midnight, there. The first showing, there. I'm going to take a nap, and I'm driving there, and I'm there. October, Gears of War. Playing it, phone off. Wolverine game, playing it, phone off. Call of Duty, playing it, phone off. Football season, I'll be on my phone on football season. Y'all know I'm going to be on my phone on football season because y'all know what happens on my phone. I had somebody hit me up again. Somebody hit me up again during preseason. Like, yo, why are you in on I'm going to go watch the game. I was watching the game of the gazebo. And it was like, oh, I didn't see you posting like you usually do. I don't post like I do when the season starts. Preseason, I let you all relax. I let your timelines relax. I don't want to assault your timelines with preseason football. That's meaningless. Most of these guys will be bagging groceries or delivering Uber Eats. Sad but true. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real out there. Some of these guys, they getting picked on teams and they're gonna be door dashing, Uber Eats. I'm just keeping it real with you all. Just keeping it real with you all. Let's get into, since we're talking sports, let's get into the sports booth. In the sports booth, November 7th, mark the dates on your calendar. Gronk is being inducted to the Patriots Hall of Fame on November 7th. Should be a good time that day. Should be a crazy day. A lot of good stories. And if you guys, as I forgot to mention, preseason week 2, the Patriots beat the Eagles 24-21. It's not that big of a deal. They didn't even have the starters in. And this is why I don't like preseason anymore, really, like I do. There was a kind of a strategy to preseason. There was kind of how they work, but now it just, to me, I hate it. It sucks. I hate it. So now because of concussions and cutting shit down, they've cut the preseason down 1 week and added a week to the regular season. And what we see now, that they've got this 3-week thing now, is that now you have 2 weeks of backups and scrubs. So if you take your kid to a week 1, week 2 preseason game, don't think you're going to see all the stars out there, because you're not. You're going to see scrubs. The week 3 preseason game now looks like it's going to be that game for your starters to get the last and final good look. Because we saw Tommy DeVito week 1 and week 2 of preseason. You know? So we saw a lot of people out there that were trying to make this team. Everybody else, Drake May, mostly everybody else were sitting. So we'll probably see Drake May and everybody when they take on Cleveland in Cleveland this weekend. And boy, that's... If you're a Browns fan, you gotta be. So it looks like they've announced. It looks like Deshaun Watson's gonna be QB1 in Cleveland over Shedeur Sanders, which is crazy. Shedeur hasn't had a good camp, they're saying. So they're going with Deshaun, which is just crazy because this is a guy who was going to leave at the end of last year. It was all types of stuff going on. He was in all types of legal trouble, yet he's hanging around like the gum on the bottom of your shoe. And it is insane to see what's going on in Cleveland. I don't even expect Cleveland to make 500. I think this is all going to implode. I think it's going to be an ugly behind the scenes season in Cleveland. If you're a Browns fan, you've got to be pissed off. That's all I'm saying. As you guys know, preseason week 3 is the last week, so I will be doing my I usually make my season prediction just before week 1. Now that we've seen everybody in preseason, how we go, I give you my overall of what I think the Pats are going to do this season, where they're going to finish. So that will probably be on next week's show, which is the last show of the month before First Tuesday. Also in the sports booth, NFL is reporting that, so they took a certain amount of players that have passed away. I want to say it was a 3 to 5 year span. And in that 3 to 5 year span, as you guys know, most of the NFL players who pass away, they donate their brains to the CTE study. And what they found was that 25% of the NFL players had developed CTE. Now I know it's 1 in 4. So that's 1 in 4. 1 in every 4 NFL players that passed away in that 3 to 5 year span had CTE. I know some of you all are probably saying, oh my God, but no, it is a serious downward trend. It's huge. This is something for the NFL to kind of be proud of. And as a fan, kind of to be proud of, because I know there have been some things that people have felt like they're not really trying to bring down concussions. I know I saw some people, picking on the Guardian caps. And I like the Guardian caps. When the Guardian caps first came out, I didn't like them because I'm like, they're going to have to make those team colors or something, because they just stick out. They look stupid. They just look crazy. And then they did. The second year that they had the Guardian caps, they matched the caps matched the helmet's team colors. I think I did see some last year that actually had the logo on there, and that was a little bit more to tolerate. They did make changes to the kickoffs to kind of eliminate some of these concussions, but unfortunately, as we saw in the Pats game, and this was just preseason, we saw an Eagles player get leveled, and he was out, and it was scary because he was, when they lock up, when the person locks up and you see it, and it was just a scary moment. He locked his extremities locked up. It was a scary moment there. Everybody ended up on the field, and then he was rushed to a nearby hospital, which is right there at Patriot Place. Anyway, but scary moment. And like I said, they made changes for that kind of not to happen, and it still happened. So they'll be back to the drawing board. The key here is protecting players, and the fact that it's down CT is down 25%. That's good. That's a good downward trend, because when we first started talking about this, when we first started doing the testing, and I was at WXBR, and we were one of the first to talk about concussions before anybody was. I want to say that number when they first started testing, I want to say that number was over 50%. I'll have to check my numbers, but I want to say that it was up there. It was scary up there. And as you know, we've lost players due to CTE. So it's good. 25%, 1 in 4 is good. It's a downward trend. And hopefully they get better. Hopefully they get better at it. And we'll go from there. Let me see here. Also in the sports booth. Well, it should be in the entertainment booth, but it's sports booth because it is ESPN. And ESPN has announced that they are not renewing their contract with the WWE in 5 years when all is said and done. They're 1 year into this contract, and they already know that they're not going to renew their WWE deal. Well, I can tell you one reason why. Because people weren't going to pay for PLEs. Point blank. We knew this. We told you this. Yet this was done. Everybody thought this was a great idea. And part of the reason why this was done was because it was greed. WWE was popping. UFC was dropping. I'm just keeping it real. I'm just keeping this shit real for you. ESPN had on their Plus, they had the UFC fights. And they were fights being canceled due to injuries. They had cards that were crappy. The viewership for UFC fights dropped off. So they moved UFC fights so you could see those free. and then brought WWE in thinking that all that WWE fan base was going to travel to the ESPN app and now pay for PLEs that they weren't paying for. Big mistake. Big mistake. Me and Kevin Jeffries talked about this on Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor when it happened and went down. We talked about this. We said it's going to fail. We said it was going to be an epic failure, and we're going to really talk about this tomorrow on Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor. We knew this was an epic fail from day one. WWE fans were not going to pay for ESPN Plus. If I didn't have Disney Plus, because Disney Plus gives you Hulu and ESPN all together. So if I didn't have Disney Plus right now in order to see WWE PLEs, I would have had to pay for the ESPN package. But because I have Disney Plus and Hulu on Xfinity, I can see the PLEs through the ESPN app. But otherwise, I wouldn't have been paying. I'm gonna just tell you that. I'm just keeping it real right now. I would not have been paying, and a lot of people chose not to pay that. There are rumors that Netflix is unhappy. I'm not sure about that. I still think Netflix numbers are still there for Raw. And I think if they start working in more of this other stuff that they've got coming down the pipe, I think they're good. Somebody said Fox is unhappy. I don't think so. I think that's a false rumor because I know AAA is killing it on Fox. AAA is killing it. Well, AAA is only online, if I'm not mistaken, and it's only certain events AAA is on Fox. But we'll see, because AAA Mania is coming up in September, and there's a lot of eyes on this tournament as to who's going to face Roman Reigns. So we'll be talking about that, because as we all know, the brothers are going up against each other on Raw next week to see who's facing Roman Reigns at AAA Mania. The Raw after AAA Mania in Mexico City. And I'll tell you right now, I don't want to blow. I'm not bursting my bubble. I'm not talking about it. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. These AAA matches. Also in the sports booth, Felicia says she misses the WWE Network. You miss the WWE Network? You miss the WWE Network? I bet you right now the WWE misses the WWE Network. I'm just keeping it real with you, Felicia. I'm just keeping it real with you, Felicia. I am damn sure behind closed doors, WWE is probably wishing they never got rid of the WWE Network. I don't think, see, here's my thing. I don't think they knew what they had. And this is where I blame TKO. Because WWE, I think, was happy with WWE Network. I think they were happy where they were. I think they were happy with all the content on there. They had sales through there. And I believe when TKO came in and they had that merger, I think TKO was in cahoots with ESPN already. And I think it's TKO that forced that ESPN WWE deal. I think they're the ones who talked and said, hey, let's just dump the WWE Network. We'll save money. And I can see how the TKO comes in there and says it. They come in and they say, TKO comes in and says, hey, we'll save money. You don't have to worry about running the network and blah, 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 blah. We'll let ESPN do all that. And ESPN will take over and all the PLEs, and they'll charge this crazy amount of money for PLEs that if you don't have, like I said, if you don't have Disney, if I don't have, I wasn't paying $70 for WrestleMania. I'm sorry. I'm not paying $70 for WrestleMania. I'm not paying $60 to $70 for that. Sorry. So it's a big mistake. It should have never happened. WWE Should have never. I'm just letting you know, Felicia. I'm just letting you know. It should have never happened. Should never happen. Also, in the sports booth, Uno. If you go to the Uno website, and if you think you got game as an Uno player, sign up. Sign up. This is the game that has caused a lot of family fights, a lot of cookout fights, a lot of breakups. Uno has now announced that they will host an Uno championship with a $50,000 grand prize. $50K? $50K? Come on, Uno. You've been around for a minute. You've been around so long, you even changed some of the rules. Come on, Uno. $50K? Come on. Uno, you're an establishment in game of cards. When you talk about card games, I mean when you talk about card games, like when you at a cookout, card games, gin, rummy, poker, spades, Uno. I'm just letting you know, it's in the top 5. Uno's in the top 5 of games out there, card games, at cookouts, whatever. Uno, you got to do better than $50K. I mean, I'm here for the championship. I'm here for it. I'm here to see how it's going to go down, how the competition's going to go through. I'm here to see who ends up being the Uno champion and how they set their cards up. But I'm sorry. I think Uno needs to come with more than $50K. Uno needs more than $50K, bro. For a grand prize, Uno's an establishment. Like I said, families hurt. Kids sent to bed. Come on, Uno. Up that prize, bro. We need more than $50K. I think that's lax. Nah, Domino's isn't the card game. Domino's isn't cards. Nope. I said card games, Felicia. Top 5 family card games played. Domino's isn't the card game. It's Uno, spades, gin, and rummy. Cribbage might be in there. Cribbage, does cribbage make top 5 card games? Or is cribbage an honorable mention? If I had to ask my dad would say cribbage is above all of those. My dad was a cribbage guy. My dad wasn't poker. My dad wasn't all this stuff. My dad was cribbage. And my dad was 21. Rummy. My dad was a rummy guy with my mom. They was a killer team. But yeah, we're talking only cards, Felicia. Dominoes don't fit. If you're talking overall games, okay, I'll give you Dominoes. But cards, Dominoes doesn't qualify for it's not a card game. Like I said, for me, it's gin, rummy, which is really kind of the same game. Gin and rummy are kind of the same game. So I would count those as one. And then spades, poker, and Uno. Uno is there. Now, rest in peace to my friend Devin. Phase 10 was her game. She loved Uno, but there was something about that Phase 10 game she loves. But Uno's up there. Uno's got to be more than $10K for a grand prize. Come on. Do better, Uno. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna give updates on this, but it's got to be better than $50K. Also in the sports booth, last minute news to mention, Keyshawn Boutte has been traded to the Texans. Keyshawn Boutte, wide receiver, who I really like on the Patriots. I liked him, but when you've got 7 wide receivers and you brought in A.J. Brown, somebody is on the outside looking in, and Keyshawn Booty's going to be that guy, and they're bringing in Jalen Reed, safety from the Texans, which I'm not mad at. But Patriots, do one thing for me. Get Christian Gonzalez signed. Stop playing around. Stop doing it. And here's the thing let's talk about Christian Gonzalez real quick. Let's talk about Christian Gonzalez really quick here. This Christian Gonzalez thing is pissing me off because when Belichick was here, there were some things that they blamed Belichick for. And I'm like, I don't think that's Belichick. I think that's a Kraft thing. I think when it came to negotiating contracts and holding people out, Belichick took that hit. Now we got this thing with Christian Gonzalez, who's the best cornerback in the league right now. He's the island guy right now. Christian Gonzalez is the number one guy. Why are we playing with him? Why are we playing? Just sign him. Just stop it. Just sign him. So now we know what we see going on here with Christian Gonzalez. Now we know that it wasn't Belichick. Now we know that this was a Kraft thing. That's what this tells me, that this wasn't a Belichick thing. This thing was a Kraft thing. This holding out. And here's the thing about it that pisses me off about it. People say, oh, it's too much. The problem is that when you wait and you hold out for players and don't sign them, then a player who sucks or a player who isn't up to par with that player that you're holding out on gets signed. That player now sets the market. So that little bit of stingy money that you're being stingy with, you're going to end up paying now because such and such player got signed. This is what exactly happened with Asante Samuel. Remember Asante Samuel? Asante Samuel was the best in his position that year when his contract was up. He was the best. But what happened? Nope. Patriots waited. And then the dude from the Buffalo Bills got signed. And that set the tone that they would have to pay Asante way more. Because I forget who it was with the Bills that got signed. But he got signed a contract that he did not deserve money-wise. Did not deserve, but he set that tone. And by NFL players' union rules, if a lesser player gets signed, that player above that person has to get signed this much money and then some. And if I'm not mistaken, you can't, I think you can still put the franchise tag on. And please don't do that either. Don't do that either, Patriots. Don't put the franchise tag on Christian Gonzalez and then, think you're going to negotiate with him next year, because that just taints the whole relationship as it is. So don't stick the franchise tag on him. Just get the guy signed. Just get Christian Gonzalez signed. I got to mention that. I had to mention that because that's something the Patriots are messing around with. Felicia says we have uno mercy. Oh man. In the legal booth. Oh man, I'm flying along here. In the legal booth, deadly driver in North Reading crash has a history of lost time and blackouts. He suffers from all this stuff. He's got mental health issues. Then why was he driving? For those who didn't know, this is the kid who smashed into the back of a father and 8-year-old daughter in North Reading, and the car burst into flames, and people were coming out their houses and businesses to try to pull this father and his daughter from the burning vehicle, and they couldn't, and they ended up dying. But this guy ends up living. And now they're saying he has a history of lost time and blackouts and mental health issues. Well, then why was he driving? Why does he have a license? Why did his doctors not take his license away and say, hey, this guy can't drive? Because I know many people with medical issues who've lost their licenses over medical issues. So why was this guy driving? Was his license even good? Or was it even good? That's going to be the question. I need to hear this. I'm sorry. History of lost time and blackouts. If you had a history of lost time and blackouts, you shouldn't be fucking driving. I have a CDL Class A. I've been in transportation since 1986, 88. And been going for my DOT forever. Forever. Lost time and blackouts. Motherfucker, you shouldn't have been behind the wheel of a car. I got no sympathy for you health-wise. I'm sorry. Shouldn't have been behind the wheel. Should have kept your ass at home. I'm sorry, dude. Sorry. Personal responsibility. History of lost time and blackouts. That's on you. If you know you have that and you're out there driving, you shouldn't be driving. Now you've killed a father and his 8-year-old daughter. So I'm sorry. Sorry. I hope you get what you deserve in this one. And I know there's already people speaking in his defense, but if you know this, you should be. If you have a history of it, nope. Sorry. So I'm hoping this is what happens to him. Not if you know it. So in the legal booth. Whoo! I'm a little bit over, but man, oh man, in the legal booth. Talk about, what's up, Travis? Talk about something coming in hot and ending up like a dud. So there was a bill here in Massachusetts. Well, there's bills across the entire country. But there was a bill here in Massachusetts that would have allowed flock cameras, which is called the name for the system are the ALPR systems. The ALPR systems are flock cameras. These are cameras that can track you. These are cameras that they read your plates. They get all types of info when you pass by. I saw it because there was a gentleman who was missing. An older guy was missing in, I forget what town it was, and then they mentioned this whole thing about the flock camera tracking this old man's vehicle, and they posted on their thing, and all these people all of a sudden were like, what do you mean? Like, everybody's like, what, whoa, hold up. And flock cameras have been a big thing, and we're going to really get into this on First Tuesday when my legal guys come on, my First Tuesday, because Ken's a defense attorney and Rob is a military guy. And flock cameras came in hot. Everybody was talking about flock cameras. The bill that passed here in Massachusetts, it passed. So it was going to allow cities and towns to issue tickets to people who were speeding in construction zones, school zones. They had to be designated areas, but this was the start. This was the start that the tickets were going to be issued for speeding and other infractions. And then it happened here in Massachusetts. It happened. People started getting in these groups, Facebook groups and stuff, and they were talking about flock cameras and too much power and blah, blah, blah. And then it happened. What happened? Well, one police department here in Massachusetts had a female police officer who utilized the flock camera in her department to track an ex-girlfriend. Hear me out. A police officer utilized flock to track an ex-girlfriend and then proceeded to harass that ex. So now, people, the fear that people have is being put into place by the very own people who were supposed to use this tool to protect us. And now, people are showing up at town meetings and they're all these and coming up. And here we go. Here we go. First out the gate, Eastbridge, Douglas, I think is one of them. Douglas is one of the towns. Yes, Douglas is the most recent. Douglas just announced they're terminating their contract with ALPR. Effective immediately, Douglas Police Department. So Douglas Police Department, no flock cameras. They've terminated their contract. Grafton Police Department, terminated. ALPR. No flock cameras are going to be used in Grafton Police Department. East Bridgewater, terminated their contract with ALPR. Not going to utilize flock cameras. So Are police departments doing this to protect themselves? Or are police departments doing this because they're listening to me, like citizens and constituents of their communities? I'm gonna ask this question on First Tuesday with my legal guys, because I hate to say this. But I don't think police departments across the country are ending their contracts with ALDR flock cameras. I don't think they're doing it at all to protect citizens in our thoughts and our concerns and our worries. I think police departments with this story of what has come out, and now we're seeing other stories across the country with bad apples. I think police departments are doing it to protect themselves. I think they know. Police departments know what they have for bad apples. They know it. The police union knows what they have for bad apples. And flock cameras, too much power. And I'm going to ask my guys this when they come on the show. Our police department's doing this. Travis Proddington in the chat, he says he thinks it's a combination. Lawsuits would be coming. They are. Lawsuits are going to be coming for anybody who gets caught utilizing and using a flock camera wrongfully, especially if you're a police officer like this one. This case that's going to happen here in Massachusetts, this is going to be big. This is going to be an issue. This police officer used flock to track an ex and then confronted the ex from the information that they got from the flock. That's just insane. So for me, like I said, I feel like police departments are doing it to protect themselves. I think they do it. I'm pretty sure. I'm going to predict that Ken, the defense attorney, I think Ken's going to say police departments are doing it to protect their asses. I think Ken, the defense attorney, that's where he's going to lead. I think Rob, military guy, I think he's going to say that the police department is looking at and making a knee-jerk reaction to what the citizens are worried about. So I think it's going to be split. So make sure you turn in on First Tuesday to see if my prediction is correct. But I think the defense attorney is going to say it's cops protecting their ass, and I think the military guy is going to say they're looking out for the best interests of our citizens and constituents. So, man, 8-10. Last thing in the legal booth, SCOTUS allows President Trump's administration to move forward with imposing restrictions on certain mail-in voting. Here's the messed up thing. You're kind of late. You're kind of late because everybody who's doing the mail-in voting, you're supposed to have that shit in by today. August 25th. If you wanted to get mail-in ballots, it had to all be in by today. So SCOTUS, I know there's a lot of people out there and everybody's pissed off about it and the restrictions and all this stuff. But the thing is that if you were mail-in voting, it all had to be in by today anyway. So most of the people are going to get the mail-in ballots because they've already sent it in. It's already done. You're not going to be able to vote in November if you didn't get that ballot in today. So it's a wrap. So I know people are up in arms that SCOTUS voted this. I'm going to ask my guys. On First Week, but I think SCOTUS only did this because they knew that today was the day. Today was the day. If you were going to online vote and vote from home, it all had to be in by today. So anybody who's doing a mail ballot, you're already in because it had to be in by today. See how they play this game? See how they play this game to get people going? That's some crazy stuff. Let's get into Trump troubles. In the Trump troubles, there's only one story tonight for Trump troubles, and I got to applaud President Trump. And the reason why I got to applaud President Trump because he took the high road and the White House released a statement in regards to the passing of Dolly Parton. He had great words for her, kind words for her. He could have lit her up because she was very vocal about her feelings on him. And everybody knows Dolly Parton was tight with the LGBTQ community. As I mentioned, Trump could have lit her up like he's lit up other people who passed away. But Trump, I think whoever is in his court right now, and where he's losing people left and right, and he's losing voters left and right, I think somebody got in his ear and said, "Hey, we know she said stuff about you. We know this, but we're headed to midterms, and we can't lose some of our MAGA base." And if he was to come out and torch Dolly Parton, trust and believe me, he lost some base. He would have lost some base if he came out and torched Dolly Parton on her passing. He didn't even make it about him. I'm gonna say that the statement that was released. Let me pull up the statement here. I'm gonna say that the statement released by the White House, I don't even think he wrote that. I think some of that stuff he had input, but I don't think he wrote it. One of the things he did say was he felt like flags should be lowered for Dolly. She doesn't qualify for someone who gets that. So I like the fact he took the high road, but we're not lowering flags across the nation for Dolly Parton. She's a legend. She's a legend. She's an icon. I'm not taking anything the woman did, but she's not a political figure. She didn't serve in the military. It really isn't a reason to lower the flags nationwide for Dolly Parton. We can mourn, we can do all that, but we're not lowering flags. Not lowering the flags. We shouldn't even have done it for Charlie Kirk. So, and I don't want to taint Dolly's passing with going back to that. Let's just mourn Dolly and make sure, we do what we need to do. Simple as that. Simple as that. Other than that, we are getting ready to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show, supporting the show. Those are the shows I produce. Oscar Mike Radio on Thursday nights. Drafting the Circuits on Wednesday nights. Matty C's was on last Sunday. Turnbuckles and Spilt Liquor. That's tomorrow. Bat Bus is still free. American Heritage Culture Day takes place. Everything's taking place on August 29th because it rained, so everything's now been moved. Planetarium Show, Brockton Public Library. Thank you, Ian, for giving me this flyer. Planetarium Show will take place at Brockton Public Library on August 29th. The Savannah Strong Sling Fest, that takes place this weekend in Indianapolis. It's the 10th year for that ride. Don't forget, Sunday, August 30th, is the 741 Frequency Fest, 2 to 7 at the Boston Common. And then, again, Michelle DuBois, she has one last weekend left. They're going to meet at McKinley Park on 100 Winter Street to canvas. And then, last day, there it is, 25th. Early voting begins the 22nd to the 28th, so make sure. Vote. You also got this banner here to vote to elect Tony Rodrigues. If you're voting him, he's letting you all know. Vote Tuesday, September 1st. Manning Pool is open. That season is winding down. This is the last week for the pools to be open. School starts in a week or two. Downtown Brockton Arts Music Festival. That takes place September 12th at 31 Dover Street. And then save the date, September 20th. Street dedication honoring Mackay and Terry. Boston Brothers Way is going to be the name of the street. And then the Boston Pizza Festival takes place that same weekend, 11 to 6, Boston City Hall Plaza. Head on down there. There's going to be a ton of pizza places. Also, if you have any costumes lying around the house, Brockton Public Library is taking donations for costumes. Also, Holbrook Sportsman's Club, Junior Archery Program, 12 to 20 every first Sunday. And then, as I mentioned during the show, November 7th is the Rob Gronkowski Patriots Hall of Fame induction ceremony. And then again, Jessie Reyez is coming to Boston November 22nd. Man, if you haven't heard that album yet, go check it out. Brockton Arts Paint Nights every last Saturday, 7 to 9 p.m. And then again, as I mentioned before the show, Viana Marie is hosting a private event on September 30th at a private location. So make sure if you want the info to hit her up for details, either on Facebook or Messenger, or hit her up by email at vianamarie123@gmail.com. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show, hanging out with me, hanging out. It's a good time. And I got to hurry up. I didn't do any shows from the gazebo this summer, so maybe I'll close out the show next week from the gazebo. Maybe I'll do that next week if the weather's good. August, because that's August 31st. Is it? Hold on, let me just double check. Yeah, isn't it? September. Oh no, next week is first Tuesday, September 1st. So the guys will be on next week, September 1st, first Tuesday. So I got to get with them because we were actually supposed to be having Mexican dinner on that night. So we'll see. Let me get back to the show and close it out because it's time to get out of here. I want to thank everybody for tuning in the show, hanging out with me, and make sure to tune in next week for First Tuesdays. SpongeBob, do me a favor. Take us home.
Well, see you next Tuesday.
Thank you for listening to The Booth on Hoobazoo and HatcherRadio.com. Please follow the Facebook page and subscribe to the podcast at Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. The Booth is a Sinister One production hosted by Sinister One.
I've got to start hanging out with friends that are a little more intelligent and understand politics and stuff. It's just that I'm up on this level up here, and all my friends are down here. Me, nah. You guys, nah. Maybe a little more down in here. Screw you guys, I'm going home.
I smoke, I drink, I do my thing. These bitches hating, so you know I got to make it plain. Don't do cocaine with your chick, my main. We stick together, true forever, yeah, you know we bang. I miss those days, which was easy. If only I made it, this shit on repeat. Now that I done upgraded, I've been upstate, and y'all think I'm playing. And I got a hit now for these weak assholes who think I ain't slaying. Try me, and I'll probably end up laughing, cause I never back down. I'm that chick with a clean ass whip, I don't need that shit, I got my own now. I get hurt, I get tired of fussing, fighting, guess I gotta crack down. Don't mess with me, cause on everything, I'ma have to bring the whole city out.
WHOOBAZOO, that's Hoobazoo.com. WHOOBAZOO.
Enter website.